Right, when on holiday venues like this, imagine 12 anglers all around the lake, all using free rods, all got semi-tight lines. Fishing these waters are always worried, always on the move, always trying to stay away from anglers. So in this sort of situation, all I'm trying to do is trying to keep my line down, and by paying out a bit of slack once you sunk the line, before you put the bobbin on, just pay out a little bit more until it stops pulling up, and as soon as you know it stops pulling up, then you know it's down, out of the way. In this sort of murky water, brown subline is my first choice, 15 pounds, that'll allow for the weed, any snags that I might encounter. I'm not casting too far, 0.4 diameter, bulletproof. If I was fishing clearer water, I'd opt for the green myself. As for these stow indicators, I've taken the weights off the bottom here, and the reason I've done that is because I don't want to pull the line up off the bottom. I still want to have a bobbin on to get indication, and by these stow indicators having this little clip on the side, that allows me just to fish them on the tilt like that, very minimal with tension on the line, allowing it to stay down. Absolutely perfect. When fishing like that, if you have your Delkim set too sensitive, you often see this, people on the +6. Me personally, I like it sort of plus on the naught, and that'll roughly ½ inch before you get a bleep. That's enough. If it was a bit windy and there was a lot of like weed drifting into my lines, then I would go on to the negative. There's nothing worse than getting false bleeps keeping you awake all night. Bleeps you don't need to know about. Right, that's my top tip for these pressured holiday venues. Keep your line slack and your bobbins light. Doesn't matter how big they are when they look like this. 20 pounds of beautiful mirror carp from Skylake. This one was taken on my favourite braided presentation, incorporating cell bottom bait and a wide gape hook. I'll show you that in a minute.
We're going to talk rigs now with Mr. Peck, and what I can see him holding there is simplistic, I think is the best way to describe it. You're known for using very simple tactics. You catch a lot of big fish, so explain to us why you're using what you're using and what each thing does on the rig.
Okay, well basically I like to keep things as minimal as possible, so less things to go wrong.
Right.
What I'm using is an 18mm bottom bait, and when I'm using 18mm bottom baits I like to use braided hook links, give it very natural movement, and the weight of an 18mm bottom bait will help prevent tangles.
Right, okay. So that's just supernatural, straight through?
Straight through.
Right, and tied on the hook with knotless knot?
Knotless knot, tied down level with the point, and the bait I always like to just brush off the bottom of the bend, if you can see there.
Right, and why is that?
I've just found that I don't get hook pulls like that.
Right, okay. So any shorter or longer can cause a hook pull for you?
Yeah, I've experienced that, yeah.
Right, okay. And then moving down?
Moving down.
Just onto the lead system?
Yeah, I've got a quick link with a figure of 8 loop knot. I'd use that only in the 25, I wouldn't do that in the 18.
And why is that?
Because you get reduced strength with a figure of 8 loop knot.
Right, okay.
If you're going to use the 18, you'll probably go for a link loop, you know, because you've got the eddy strength.
So you tie grinner or something like that to the link loop to increase the breaking strain of the hook link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a point worth making actually, because we do lots of breaking strain tests at work, and if you do a figure of 8 loop in braid, it does reduce the breaking strain. If it goes from 25 pound down to 19, doesn't really matter, does it?
No, no.
But if you're going 18 down to 14 or 13, then you could be experiencing problems. And then just a hybrid lead clip there, just with a swivel lead on.
Yep.
Just nice and simple. Do you use swivel leads more than inlines or not?
I've been tending to in recent times, because everyone wants you to use on their fisheries like a system that drops the lead, and it's the easiest way and the best way, really, to be honest. That comes off pretty much on the take, especially with a big lead.
Right, okay, so if I hold that and then you pull against it, we can show everybody that's how easily it comes off.
Yeah, and that way that could be plugged in the bottom, and literally up off the bottom, shake its head, fish comes up.
Right, okay, cool. Let's put that back on there so everyone can see the full thing set up. The other thing I noticed you've got on is the new dark matter heavy tubing. How are you getting on with that?
Absolutely love it.
Right.
I've been using tubing more in recent years than lead core, because I used to use lead core avidly, you know, I wouldn't cast out about it. But I wondered whether it caught me more fish, or I was just using it for the sake of doing it. And tubing definitely prevents tangles more than with braid. It definitely prevents tangles more.
And that stuff especially, because it's so heavy, it just seems to keep the two apart, doesn't it?
Definitely, definitely.
Right.
And yeah, the way it lays over stuff, it's just absolutely beautiful, whatever it's,
yeah, it just picks up the contours of the bottom. And right, and if you were going to use a pop-up, what of that would you change?
Basically, pop-ups are lighter, so the braid is more prone to tangling with a pop-up. In this situation, I'm using a bag, so you could get away with it. A bag straight on the braid, wouldn't matter. You could do the pop-up. But if I was casting it out as a single hook bait,
because the hook bait's lighter, then you get more chance of a tangle.
You get no separation between bait and lead during flight. It's more prone to frap up and wrap round itself.
Right. So what would you use then as a pop-up?
I've been using N-Trap in recent times since it
Right.
came out. I use it straight through, not that's knotted to the hook, boilie a little bit tighter to the hook for the
Yep.
pop-up. I've got soft hair that's stripped, but then I would just make a little break about 1 inch down from the eye of the hook and just put a split shot on, give it a 5mm gap so the 5mm of braid showing, and that just allows the hook bait to sit up straight.
Right.
And a little crafty tip, just run your finger into the inner edge of
Just
it.
curve the inside.
Just curve it, yeah, and there's no need for shrink tube when you do that. And it sits there, looks just like that, it's like lovely.
Wicked. Well, simple stuff, but it catches a lot of big fish.
Here's the proof of the pudding. A lovely 35-pound common from Sky Lake, taken on the rig I've just shown you. Use this rig anywhere and you can catch fish like this.